y'all. Welcome back to the Untacked Podcast, where we get into the latest equestrian chit-chat and small town stories.
Today we're talking about buying and selling horses, a game of skill, luck, and a little bit of drama.
Woo! We'll tell you why horse shopping is basically online dating.
And horse selling is a little bit more like a breakup.
Yeehaw! Right, cowboy! That was hard. Welcome back to the 4th episode of Untacked Podcast. My name is Melanie.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Rico.
And I'm Yvette.
And this is
Untacked.
Sounds like Star Wars.
Is it?
That's Elvis.
Why did
I was thinking of a different
I
jingle.
like that.
Yeah. Watch it start. It's going to be our
Let's
thing.
do John
Yeah.
Wayne.
What's John Wayne? What is it?
I don't know. What is John Wayne?
Let's do.
Why do I think it's like,
I
don't know.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with horse buying. And Savannah is going to lead us off with, what do you look for in a horse?
I literally, the first horse that I actually went and looked at, I bought. And the best part is when I was looking for the horse, I wasn't even actually looking for a horse. Like, I wanted one, but I was like, no, I don't have the money for him. I went with no money, and I was like, okay, he's mine. Let's go.
Did he have to have a specific discipline when you were looking?
I wanted him to be able to join a drill team, like, right away. 'Cause I'm going to get him to where I need to be. And I took him to one of the practices right before a rodeo, and I ate dirt. And I got back up and I marched over there trying not to cry because I was like, oh my god, this is literally like the 4th time that I'm riding him. Like, I was trying so hard not to cry. I was like, okay, I'm going to get back on right now. Then messing around with him, I started lunging him, working him more. And then I was like, yeah, I really want him to go. Like, I want to rodeo on him. So I went and I bought a tarp. I bought pool noodles. I bought balloons. And first I got him to walk over the tarp. And then I got him to, like, be around the balloons. I tied them to his feed bucket, and I put his favorite American Family feed because they're awesome. Oh, and I met Rebel, and the first time I met him, he bit me.
What's funny is that, like, you say that he bit you. Like, you guys were not connected at first. And now I see videos of you guys just, like, you're always laying on top of him. And he's not even moving. And you guys are just so in love with each other.
It's, honestly, it's like my dream come true.
The ultimate love story.
And now, he's my angel. And we're like besties.
When I had met you, I remember seeing Rebel, and he is not the horse that I first met. And I honestly really think that you created this beautiful horse, and he had like a glow up of 2025 because he looks beautiful. And I will insert a photo of his before and after right here because Rebel really deserves an award for that one, and his mother.
So sometimes you don't get what you're looking for. You gotta work for what you want. I knew that I wanted a rodeo on him, but I knew I didn't have the money to go buy a freaking $20,000 horse. So I worked with what I found, and we turned out to be soulmates. Like, in the end, he ended up having one eye. He's a sorrel, and he literally was her aunt's horse in the past, and her aunt always comments on my posts and is like, oh my god, I love that you love him so much. Like, I like your guys' bond. Like, he looks so, like, you're good for him. Like, he looks happy with you.
Really love that you do is that you look to Mel for so much. And something that I don't know our viewers may or may not know is that Savannah and Mel grew up together, like literally right next door. So they are 2 little besties that have grown up since the beginning, and they have pictures together, like riding horses. They have their tattoos, matching tattoos together. And so Savannah really looks to Mel for a lot of like her horse experience, horse tips, and you can just see that relationship and that bond. So the bond that she has with Rebel is almost like identical to the bond that she has with Mel. And sometimes you don't always get to pick your friends. They just appear in your life.
That is true.
I feel like it's great that you guys have this awesome relationship and that Mel has been like this trusted counterpart for you, which would lead us into this great segment of Mel sharing with us. When you create a wish list, what are the things that would be like on the list of the wishes? And then what are the must-haves?
That is a great question. So I actually did a couple polls on my social media just to get your guys' perspective also. A couple things that I would want on a wish list would be like a nice mane and tail. Pretty coat is always a plus, but a lot of people, it's like a taboo to buy horses based on their color, which I know. However, good breeding is also on the wish list. Something with great conformation, always on the wish list.
I personally like don't even have a wish list. I'm just like, please be sound.
I don't feel like anyone ever is shopping for something that doesn't walk.
Mariko.
Do you guys have any three-legged horses? Because I'll take them.
I currently have 2 horses with kissing spine. Actually, let's do something for our viewers really quick. For those of you that are following this, that you don't know like a lot about things like confirmation or things that Mel just mentioned, can you tell us a little bit about what you know about confirmation? Like, what is that?
Dude, that's a tough subject for me.
She wanted me to do that one. I didn't want
That's
to
a
do that
tough one because that's like very controversial, I feel like.
It is controversial.
Because I'm going to be like, oh, it's got to have a nice butt. And people are gonna be like, she's a fucking idiot.
What is confirmation?
That is a great question, Mariko. What is confirmation? What a reverse card.
So
You
I
know
do.
what? Hold on. I one of the mics is messed up, so I'm gonna go in here really quick. But I can insert that
The
video
definition.
that you did where
Oh
you're
my
explaining.
gosh, yes.
The other day I went to her house and she was trying to explain what confirmation was to me. So she drew out a not so good horse. Stick to your job. Do not do art. And she did this little art piece of a horse and explained what confirmation was to me. So I will insert this clip.
The horse's shoulder. And here is the back. And here is the shoulder where you can tell whether or not it's built downward or upward.
Okay.
When Harry has his shoulder built, so you know he has his high wither here and his big shoulders up here.
Mm-hmm.
He's built what they call upward. So his shoulder goes up, his back goes down. So that gives him a lot of movement to be a racehorse, to move forward.
Got it.
Right? You want a horse, if your quarter horses have that straight back with that even shoulder line, that's what gives them a nice rounded body that gives their whole body just like good muscle here, good muscle here, good muscle here. So that's why confirmation is so important. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And please don't let that be the official confirmation video. I am not a confirmation expert, but in
Ditto.
a nutshell, what confirmation is essentially the build of your horse. So where the shoulders are on your horse, how their back lays, is it straight? Where are the hips? Do the hips go above the shoulder, below the shoulder, all the way
Legs.
down, their legs, their hoofs, all of that, their neck? It all builds into confirmation. And so why confirmation is important is that horses with good confirmation are able to develop and build good muscles that support their bodies for long-term good health and just ride activity. So it really kind of depends, like the conformation of your horse will really determine the style of riding that you're doing. So the discipline. So that's like an example of like what confirmation would be.
Round of applause for Mariko.
Again, not an expert. So if you'd like to submit your comments on a definition of confirmation, please help our viewers out so they can read after they watch our episode.
Yeah. Because we only know what we know. I think.
So we also talked about wish list. So what about your must-haves?
Must-haves for me would probably be definitely something sound. Sorry. I'm always going to do a vet check. Something young is a must-have because now my horses are getting older in age, so I would want something that's younger to last me.
I'd love to know when you were looking for Bennett, because Bennett's your most recent horse.
Yes.
What were you looking for and what drew you to purchase Bennett?
That's a great question. I love talking about my purchase with Benny because I feel like it always just happens when you're not expecting it. You know, same with what Savannah's situation is. I was casually looking, yes, to buy a horse. I got overwhelmed with the purchase price of a lot of them. They're super fast paced. I was tired of people rushing me. Come look at her. She's going to sell tomorrow. Like, I didn't feel like it was the right purchase if I felt rushed to do so. Bennett's previous owner was a doll to work with. Bennett was actually from Northern California. Um, my must haves and what attracted me to her ad was she had great paperwork. So she has good breeding. So eventually down the line, if I wanted to breed her, she would be a great candidate. She was sound. She had a vet check done before I drove out there, and everything passed with flying colors. She had sturdy looking feet. I was looking for something that was up to compete and something safe enough for me to work with on desensitizing and doing drill and rodeo activities.
You guys have a lot of interest in the papers of the horse, which I don't know if it's just because, well, me personally, I'm not breeding any of my horses. Like, I'm not into the breeding. So to me, it doesn't matter. I want my horse to be like, when I pass by, people are like, you know what I mean?
If you've seen her horse, he's like
cutie.
But I think that's fair. I was just going to say, for some people, those papers really do matter in terms of the line. So, like, for example, the cartel line and Mel and wanting to look for speed, that matched what she was looking for. So she knew she had to have that in the line.
And for those of you that don't know horse paperwork, all of our horses come from Corona Cartel, which is a famous race horse who made a name for himself. And once they do so, then that name gets carried on to the kin of that horse. So he would be the grandpa, the uncle, the dad on all these horses' paperwork. And so once they hear that cartel line in one of your horse's names, that would mean, oh, this horse is built for speed, built for fast events, has that speed in his blood. So it's more likely that they're going to succeed in skilled timed events.
I think that it's very apparent that wish lists, must-haves, totally dependent on the type of horse you want, what you're going to be looking for.
Absolutely.
And so when you move into looking for your horse and you've determined everything, you start looking at those sale ads.
Yeah.
And those can be so stressful to look at. So you're in the horse market right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the things that you're looking for in your sale ads?
I want a fine looking motherfucker.
Does it need to say that?
One.
Does it need to say this is one fine ass looking?
Yes, chef's kiss. I want it to be all just like, I want a big booty.
So if your horse is in an ad and it doesn't have a booty in it, it's not getting purchased.
Not for us.
not by me either.
I want him to be at least 15 hands minimum. And I want him to have a big old booty, cheeks. I want him to look.
Both cheeks.
Yes. And I want him to be able to spin. That is one of my things that I need him to do. And I just want him to have a good personality. Obviously sound. I don't even want to say because I don't want to jinx it, but I have bought 3 horses and I didn't even get to see them in person before I purchased them. And all 3 of them have been sound and I've gotten really lucky. And I honestly think that a lot of the things with horses is the prior owner, like you mentioned, and the wear and tear that they've had and what experiences they have, how much training they've had, how the people were riding them, how hard they were riding them, how well they took aftercare.
And that being said, with our viewers watching us today, when we talk about things like what she's looking for in a sale ad, I think there's more than just the obvious of like the pictures of what you see and the descriptions. Like, you obviously are getting your horses from someone that you know.
A reputable person.
Person.
Definitely.
Right? So when you're looking at Facebook and you've been looking at Facebook recently, what are like the sketch things that you're seeing where you're like, this is someone I would purchase an ad from, or this is someone I would purchase a horse from in an ad versus not?
So I was recently on Facebook and I found these horses so gorgeous. And obviously it says, PM to get price. He had so many videos, he had pictures, and they were always, all the videos and pictures of the horses were the same guy riding them at the same ranch. And there were so many other people like commenting, I'm interested in this horse. And I'm telling you, this horse was like dream horse, like reigning, like he did all the stuff. And when I reached out to him to ask him the price, he told me 6,000. And I was like, right away, red flags. That doesn't sound right. For that, there's no way 6,000. That doesn't sound right. So then I started going through the messages, like reading the comments, and then I see people saying like, "This is a fraud. Don't believe him." Da da da. So then I reach out to one of the people that had commented, and they said, "No, do not buy." We reached out to him. He told us the same thing. They were basically trying to get you to put a down payment on the horse before you even came to see him. And this horse had already been sold in New York for $29,000. I was like, that sounds about right for the price for the horse.
I personally love the ad I recently sent her. In the ad, it was like this beautiful Andalusian, perfect gelding, could be ridden by any person, all around, friendly guy. And you see the pictures of the horse being ridden by multiple people. And then you see the horse in this like forest with this guy, and it's like this gorgeous Andalusian with the mane flying and the tail flying. And the guy's got this like stance on the horse, and he's in this like orange forest. And I look closer after I send her the photo, and I'm like, wait a second, I think this might be AI generated. And so then in the same ad, there's another picture of him in that same position with the horse in an entirely different like background. They didn't even try.
They will do anything to scam you of money.
Yes.
Yeah, so that I do have to say, be very cautious of what you buy online. And if you don't know the seller, make sure you do your research, because sometimes you get really excited and you think you're getting a deal that nobody else has seen, and it's not. If it feels like it's too good to be true,
most likely
it probably is.
I would like to add that if they ask you for a deposit, don't pay it.
Yeah, no.
That's like 99.9% a scam.
I posted on Facebook in one of the groups, and I had asked, like, what do you guys look for? What are things that are like red flags to you guys? Like, what should we stay away from? And one of the things that they said is, if they say that they have buyers on the way, don't go, because they really don't. Like, they want you to hurry up and
make a decision.
Yeah, they want you to like make a decision to a horse that like they're not even gonna have, and it's not.
Horse sales are not car sales. I'll tell you that. Don't be rushed. Make sure it's correct and perfect fit for you, and take your time on buying what you want.
It really is like online dating. Like, next.
Other things that we know that we need to look for in buying horses, which is our last little piece that we're going to end on for buying, is the vet check.
Yeah.
And a lot of people either really believe in this or they go with their gut feeling. Sometimes you do or sometimes you don't. And really the vet check is your opportunity to say whether or not this horse is going to be for you and it's healthy for you and it can do the style of riding that you need it to do. So,
and honestly, you are absolutely the perfect person to talk about this.
And I would compare this to before you buy a house, you get an inspection.
Such a good point. It's so true.
Can you imagine if the realtor told you, you don't need an inspection, don't worry about it, you'll be fine?
I literally
live and learn, friend. Live and learn.
It's so true. The one thing that I would say that is most important that just never ever not do is a pre-purchase exam. Don't cheap yourself out of that. And there's so many reasons why you want to get that done. So a pre-purchase exam is basically the exam that gets done when
pre-purchase
you're making a purchase. And so your vet will come, either it's your vet or a vet that you find locally. Always make sure it's a vet that you find.
It's non-biased.
That's non-biased and someone that you know that you could trust. Or it was from your own selection. Because if the seller is the one that's picking, you don't know their affiliation with that vet. It's their vet, it's their findings. Sometimes it can be favorable. So what's important to know, whoever pays for the pre-purchase exam is the person that gets the paperwork from the exam, who gets to have the conversation with the vet. So always make sure you're the one purchasing and paying for the vet's pre-purchase exam. We were looking.
And we all know Mariko loves herself some geriatric horses.
I love me some geriatric
Mariko's
horses.
non-performance horses.
If you see the trailer around, you'll know it's me.
Humble Ranch.
Humble Ranch. Purchasing all the geriatrics in Norco. So if you need a home, I'm here. So in the situation that we're in today, we purchased this horse. We've had him for 5 months. He's 25 years old. And we had noticed that he started to trip a lot. To speak to that, I mean, we both were, my husband and I, easily influenced in this moment to not get a pre-purchase exam because of his price. And because he was so old that there wasn't really an expectation beyond how long he would last for us. And so we forewent a pre-purchase exam. And so my advice to everyone, no matter how well you know someone, no matter how well you know the horse, no matter the situation, get a pre-purchase exam. They are not that expensive. And
compared to the horse price.
Compared to the horse price.
If you are willing to pay more than what a pre-purchase exam costs for the horse.
In maintenance the rest of its life.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to the vet today, he actually gave me some really good advice to share with our viewers that I thought would be really helpful for some of you guys watching. And that when you decide that you're going to be purchasing a horse, consider how much you're going to spend on this horse on an annual basis or on a monthly basis. So not how much the purchase price is, but how much you're willing to spend on this horse and what you plan to use your horse for. So if you're someone that needs a performance horse, remember that you're going to be purchasing essentially a sports car. So if you are using your horse or your sports car on the weekend, after you use it, what do? You take care of your car, you re-up it, you do the maintenance on it, you buy new
it's
tires.
A great example.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so things like muscle therapy or therapies that you would give your horse to boost the lymphatic system to help kind of get the blood moving.
Absolutely.
The muscles restoring faster. Those are all things that you have to consider. Those are expenses. That's not cheap. And so
the maintenance to upkeep these disciplines and the condition of the horse that you are now purchasing is reliant on the funds monthly, not just the one-time purchase to obtain the horse.
Exactly. Supplements.
Correct.
How much are you spending on supplements? And depending on what you're doing with your horse, supplements can be expensive. So that can be anything from like glucosamine to MSM to
bit butter.
Yeah, bit butter.
So I actually started giving Rebel MSM to try and help with like his joints a little bit, and then
sometimes I want to take that stuff.
I want to take you.
Right?
Actually,
better than ibuprofen or not?
You're
Republican, it works.
So in addition to things like monthly maintenance and making sure that you know you have your budget and what you're looking for, assessing what you're looking to do with your horse is also a necessary thing in your pre-purchase exam. So when your vet is going to essentially look at your pre-purchase and determine whether or not it's the right style of riding, your vet should be asking what style of riding that you're going to be doing with your horse. Drug tests, drug screenings, blood work, testing for things like EPM, and this is what I'll close with. Pre-purchase exam is not everything. It's not the tell-all, be-all, and circumstances can always change. It's always just like a guideline that you can use to help you make the best informed decision. We're going to kind of transition this. We obviously have a lot of experience with buying horses, know people who have sold horses, and I think we'd even think about like, what would we do if we were selling a horse? So I'm actually going to have Mel start with how would you get the word out? What are the different methods of communication that are currently being used in order to put out a sale ad?
I think that the most common place people are putting horse ads is actually going to be Facebook. And I have experience with that because that's where I bought my horses. Within Facebook, they actually categorize their own pages for horse sales. They have AQHA, they have APHA, they have all kinds of different disciplines. Other than Facebook, I would say they have major websites like Craigslist, eBay, even possibly. Equine Now. Yeah.
I'd be so scared to buy some.
Right?
I think they're scared to buy like just the most minimal
anything
thing on eBay.
You start auctioning off a horse on eBay. You're like, I'm up to $50.
And you get like a little
Well, there are online
figurine.
games.
Figurine.
Yeah.
Or a poster?
Yeah.
A poster of the horse that you were going to get?
I bought my horse on Temu.
Yeah, right?
Hey,
Use my
don't
code.
talk shit about Temu.
That's true. You've gotten some
I love
really
me
good
some
stuff from
Temu.
Temu.
I have.
If you are already in the horse industry, going to horse shows is another great place to see horses for sale. Sometimes the ads are posted on the panels, or you can see them in action with tail bags that say for sale. Even
clever.
gear I've seen that have the bridle or the headstall engraved in
That
or
is so
painted on for
clever.
sale, and so you can watch them show in whatever discipline and make your judgment on that.
I definitely would say I use Facebook the most.
Yeah.
That's where I found Rebel.
I get my horses in Mexico. I'm pretty pro. I could never sell my horses. I'm like, they're my family. They're stuck with me forever. We're in this for life.
Absolutely. I
Rebel
feel
stuck
like,
with me.
especially since I have experience with selling one in the past and now I reacquired her.
You got the same horse twice? Like
Yeah.
you got her back?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love story.
So, especially since I have that experience of selling one and then feeling the regret, like, damn, I shouldn't have done that, and then going through what I did to reacquire her, I think the 3 that I have, I will keep them forever.
I could sell a horse. I could definitely sell a horse. I could sell more than one horse.
You could sell all of them.
I could sell all of them. Aaron would be so happy. We said it earlier in our opening, which was selling a horse is ultimately like a breakup. And so when you're breaking up, if you really care about someone,
You're all, where's a good fit for my ex-girlfriend?
not.
Would you make an ad for Traveler? It would be like, I'd be like, I'm a little skittish. I'm really handsome.
I've got blue eyes.
He's making his own. He's making his own
Yeah.
ad. I'm really. It's his dating app. If he would do it, I'm really handsome. I'm built like a truck. I've got a really nice booty. My mom tells me I'm a fine ass motherfucker all the time.
The red flag is my mom tells me.
She says that I will go for $5 million bazillion.
Yes.
So if you've got that, there's a chance. But other than that, no.
How would you sell chocolate?
He's all, let it
He's selling himself. Hi guys.
Oh my god, can we insert the picture of him that I have right here?
Hey, chocolate.
I ain't chocolate. I'm here at a party.
So chocolate he's officially her and Adrian's geriatric.
Yes!
Go geriatric. But he has this feature on him where he sticks his tongue out. Can we all do an impression of him right now?
He has his permanent emoji.
And chocolate is the nearest, dearest, cutest thing inside of this entire household.
He is really cute.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah. So how do we know? I mean, if we were to price that, you said $5 gazillion dollars. But how do you know how to price your horse? And what would you price chocolate at?
Chocolate? Well, nobody gonna buy him that. I love him. But he's
$5.
I mean, you just kind of know. Honestly, the price of a horse is what the value of it is to you. So even if sometimes people will put a price for a horse because they think like, I love this horse so much, he's worth this much.
Yeah.
And it's just really what you're willing to purchase the horse for.
Savannah, to a buyer, one piece of advice, what would you say?
If I had to give one piece of advice to a buyer, it would definitely be don't settle. It's not what you want, don't do it, because there's plenty of horses out there.
So if you were to help our viewers, what would you say would be the number one red flag?
I think an important red flag to look for, the behavior. Horse is super sweaty before you get there, is super tired, like have anxiety eye where they're looking at everything and you can see the whites of their eyes. They're just freaked out.
Like your eyes right now?
Those are the things. I'm giving you an example of my eyes. If they are any of those things, then I would probably just walk away from the beginning. It's giving not true.
After the purchase, what do you do when they're in your home, in the stall? You now have them. What is that next step?
Make TikToks and show off your new horse.
That is is a really, really great answer because that super
That is
applies to
literally
you.
it.
You
Yeah.
totally would. But I would also say make sure that you find appropriate tack, get the right tack for them, get them a massage, get them a chiropractor.
I'm gonna wine and dine you. I want you to know that you're mine now, and I want you to love me.
Treat yourself and treat your horse and treat it better than you treat yourself.
I do treat mine better.
Yeah. I think that's one thing we collectively could say about our horses on this podcast is us four ladies sitting here. I can all vouch for that we treat our horses better than we treat ourselves. I know my horses get massaged on a regular basis. All of our horses are super well fed. Their maintenance for their feet are on schedule. Like, I can't remember the last time I got a pedicure or manicure, and my horses are always on point.
I do my own nails to afford my horse's feet.
I currently have dirt underneath my nails.
Slay.
Oh, me too.
All right, girls, we're going to go ahead and cinch this up now because this has been a great episode. Super knowledgeable, super, I hope, impactful to our viewers who are looking to buy, sell, or just genuinely have something in common with us through this whole experience.
Thank you so much for watching our 4th episode. Make sure you give us a like, comment, and subscribe.
You can catch us on Instagram and soon TikTok, but stay tuned every Monday. We'll see you on Untacked.
Stay classy, sassy, and a little badassy. And don't forget to clean your tack.
Excuse me.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're going to start it. So we're starting, you might want to say something. Well, I could start it, I guess, and say like, so we're going to start off with talking about buying.
My hair is up, so it cannot be mine.
It's probably like a dog hair.
It could be mine.
That was like a little dog hair.
So then it's going to go like this. So we'll
I can't
start
wait to
with
have
you.
kids and they shit on you.
So we're going to start
all
with
been
you,
there.
and you're going to talk about,
Ready?
we need to have one of those like screen, ready, set,
Yeah.
film. We're ready to go.
We'll get one.
Thank you guys so
For
much
our
for joining
4th
us.
episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for our 4th episode.
Can you believe this is
I
our
know.
4th episode?
I know.
This is 1 month of episode of
We're committed, guys. We did it.
We really did.
I know.
Shake. Ding dang.
Ding, 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 ding.
Zing, 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 zing.
All right, let's do it.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, let's
Okay,
go. Ready?
okay.
Ready?
I'm ready when you guys
How
are.
funky is your chicken?
How loose-
funky is your
I don't know the song,
Yeah.
but
Right, loose. My goose is totally loose.
My goose is totally loose. My goose is totally loose.
I don't want my goose to be loose.
Yeah.
My Gucci ain't Lucy.
Mine is tight, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
And this is Untacked.
I think I touched my mic.
Well, I should have done that a little bit quicker because I kind of.
Dun-dun-dun.
We hesitate. Okay, let's do it one more
Dun-dun-dun.
time.